same civil societies regarding discussion. So what bureaucrats can do, which NGOs cannot or civil societies cannot do? Are there any edge over?
These are two different spheres. First, the state must have clarity about its role. It's not what bureaucrats can do, what NGOs cannot do. First, what is your role as the state? Because state is a monopoly agency. It's a coercive agency. It is forcibly collecting taxes. It is exercising power over you. So therefore, the state must first legitimize itself. Why are you doing what you're doing? What gave you that power? The only ratio is what you and I as individuals and families cannot fulfill. So what you and I individually as families and individuals cannot do to take care of our needs, they can only be taken care of collectively, but they are necessary for our survival and our comfortable living. Mosquito control, a road, stormwater drainage, sewerage system, drinking water arrangements, electricity grid. I may pay for some of these services, but I cannot provide myself. It's dysfunctional. The state's role is that, rule of law, quality education, healthcare. There's a reason why I mentioned what the state has to do. That the state and state alone must be able to do. But doesn't mean the state should do itself. State should make it happen. Rule of law has to be done only by the state. There you cannot utilize any other agency. Therefore, you have to see how best they do it efficiently, honestly, impartially, and with accountability. That's the area where state must be extra careful. But education delivery, while state provides the funding, creates the architecture, you don't have to give education. Somebody else can also give education. As long as the outcome is there, the outcome being the minds are flowering without burden on the pocket. To me, there are two standards. As long as that is achieved, I don't care the government teacher, private teacher, kya hai. These are all artificial. Healthcare, I don't care who is giving healthcare. As long as, again, I don't have to pay out of pocket. My poverty is not denying me quality health care, and I am getting actually quality health care. Who delivers is immaterial for the state, but the state must take the responsibility of making it happen. So, monopoly of function doesn't mean that state alone will do it. Some only state can, national defense. There's no way you can bring mercenaries, it's a disaster. Rule of law. Already rule of law is privatized. All these criminals entering politics, how? Because they privatized rule of law. They became the gundas, sarkari, the undeclared judges of it. That's not what we want. So some areas state has to have monopoly. Some other areas monopoly is not necessary, but state has to take ultimate responsibility to deliver. The rest of it, leave it to society. Charitable organizations, religious organizations, families, individuals, they do whatever they think is right. And if you are smart, you facilitate them. What do other countries do? They have 501c3. In the US, it's called 501c3. Any organization dedicated to public cause, it gets 100% tax exemption for the donors. I founded an organization in America. Its objective is to improve democracy in India. That's the stated objective. From day one, 501c3 status is there. 100% tax exemption to the donors. Because they realized the state cannot do everything. Even if it tries, state cannot do efficiently. You have a social welfare hostel. Typically what happens in a hostel, there will be 50 kids. Let's assume all 50 kids are genuine, there is no bogus rolls and all that. How much do you spend on the hostel? Maybe 750 rupees or 1000 rupees per month per kid for food, etc. How much is the government spending in addition to that? There is a warden, there is a cook, there is a cleaner. The combined salaries will be of the order of about 2 lakh rupees a month. Even if there is total honesty, there is no bogus enrollment. To spend 1 lakh rupees, you are spending 2 lakh rupees for the staff. It's the most inefficient way of spending. Suppose an NGO or a religious organization, they want to do it because they do it out of, they think they get punya.
Service.
Or their heart bleeds, they genuinely care. They do it efficiently because they care. So, wherever that is possible, state must utilize them also to get greater accountability, greater honesty of purpose, and least cost and best delivery. But otherwise, let them do their own thing. Why are you bothered about that? Just as a citizen is free to do what they want, what is an NGO, what is a civil society organization? It's a collective of citizens. They are equally free to do whatever they want. That's why when the British Raj recognized it, that's why the NGOs are all created under what law? Societies Registration Act. British government created one of the most liberal societies law in the country. in every state. Even Nizam's government in Hyderabad state created a very liberal society's law. Even the colonial governments and feudal governments understood the value of freedom. Now you are trying to curtail that. That's very stupid. When the colonial governments gave freedom to organize, democratic governments allegedly trying to curtail that freedom is totally backward. But because India doesn't understand all these issues, anything passes, and you can't fight everything every day. Even those who fight, a wise general chooses battlefields very carefully. If you make everything a battlefield, you lose everywhere. You must decide what is the strategic goal, because your energy, your time are limited, your resources are limited. Fight on the bigger issues. Don't waste time on every issue, because then every day you keep talking and shouting with nobody, with no consequence. But it's a stupid thing. Okay?
Like and subscribe Eagle Media Works.